Welcome to the demo video of the iPETRO VMI Portal, also known as iPETRO VMI Portal. The portal is accessed via the iPETRO website or PETRO industrial website. The login link is located on the main menu. Once logged into the VMI, the first page will open as the reporting page. The reporting page has 4 cards that are more tailored around transactional data relevant to a fuel management setup. The first card is active sites, and this will show all sites that have shown activity in the last 30 days. Some activities can include fuel deliveries, transactions on the FMS, fluctuations in the tank gauge, and fuel levels. Second and third card is the total transactions and total volume in the last 30 days. This is related to how many transactions were recorded for the 30-day cycle and the quantity that was dispensed during the same period. Fourth card is the total deliveries. This card is more related to tank gauging. If any tank gauging equipment is connected to the VMI portal or an FMS device that is connected to the portal, this is where deliveries will be documented and maintained. It is important to note, the deliveries will not be 100% accurate. The delivery will be documented as a fluctuation in your tank levels. As an example, if we see an increase in your tank level by a certain margin, we will acknowledge that as a delivery. The end result will be affected by 2 big factors: the accuracy of the tank gauge in place, and secondly, tank is dispensing at the same time it is receiving a delivery. The system cannot differentiate between the actions. All deliveries can be altered manually to reflect the actual amount delivered by editing the Estimate Delivery field in the Total Deliveries page. This will help with stock take and reporting of fuel received. All reports can be exported as Excel, CSV, or PDF. Heading back to the main client dashboard, we look at total volume and total transactions graphs, which show the historical data. These 2 graphs make it possible to compare how your sites are progressing from a month-to-month or year-to-year basis, tracking your volume and comparing it with your transactions for all data to align. Next, we have carbon emissions and reconciliation that will be looked at later in more details. The next few cards are all related to more recent or instant information, reporting in real time as it happens. Looking at consumption and recent transactions, if you had concern about someone taking too much fuel, or you want to get insight to how your site is doing, this is where you can find it. These pages update in real time as transactions occur or tags are used by approved users. The data displayed will be for all your sites and not site-specific data. Be able to view your volume per site, as well as your site locations with various stock level warnings per site. You can zoom into the locations to view specific sites. The warnings per site will be showed with different color markings: red, green, and yellow. If the site is red, you know that your tank is in low, low, and critical. Yellow warnings will show the low and high levels, and finally green means your tank levels are good. That was an overview of your portal. Let's take a deeper dive into the reporting side of the VMI portal. Starting with transactions. This page allows you to see all the necessary data for your site, such as the volume, odometer, card holder, site name, date, time, and a few more fields. If you have the iPETRO Gateway, iPETRO Lite or Pro FMS, and PUSA tank gauges, you'll be able to see a bit more information such as the flow rate, stop method, start and end date, dip readings, and pulse. Transactions can be filtered or groups created. Groups are a great way to customize your data when you have multiple sites or locations across the country. Multiple search parameters can be added via the details and sites filters. Customize the various fields such as the cardholder name, card number, or vehicle registrations. You can customize your report further by adding your preferred dates to help build your report out. When done, all reports can be exported as CSV, Excel, and PDF. The reporting will show all fields available and will look similar to this in Excel format or in PDF format. Next focus point is the carbon emissions reporting feature on the portal. Many companies are aiming to be more environmentally friendly and meet the government requirements. Companies can filter the data by date and site to view the total CO2 emissions or fuel consumption, etc. Further down, the data is translated into a less detailed report for easier breakdown. All the data is presented in various graphs and trends, broken down into site-specific CO2 emissions data, such as emissions by fuel type, emissions by site, volume versus emissions, site-by-site analysis, top 10 vehicles, and operators. Lastly, we view the NGER Compliance Summary, which is your national greenhouse and energy reporting information. The NGER Compliance Summary shows you by fuel type how much CO2 has been emitted. The entire carbon emission report can be exported into a PDF format and would look something like this, where the document can be filtered by tank, drivers, or vehicles. The same report can also be exported to Excel. Moving to the last portion of the reporting, we look at the reconciliation feature. If your site only has a tank gauge, you can use the total delivery features at the top of your portal for reconciliation purposes. If your setup is a combination of a tank gauge and a FMS system, the reconciliation feature is important to check regularly. The opening and closing dips will be compared, as well as the delivery quantities. By comparing your data in this feature, you will be able to detect if any fuel is missing, stolen, or not correct. This is a great way to avoid theft on site. If content is highlighted green, it means there is no difference between your opening and closing dip. Warnings show up in orange highlighted section when requiring an investigation, but when an error is highlighted in red, it means there is a problem that needs attention ASAP. This could include scenarios where there is a fault on equipment, a malfunction, or possible theft. In the case where deliveries were not reported accurate, you can modify the amount received manually and it will automatically adjust the data. If your customer does not have a FMS system integrated to the VMI, most of the functions will not be enabled for them. The accepted FMS integration could be PUSI, MCS, or our own iPETRO FMS. Moving away from the reporting feature, we are now going to be looking into the setup and customizing of your own portal. To view the VMI, select the graph icon or third icon from the top in your left-hand menu. Let's firstly look at your profile settings. You can open your profile settings located in the drop-down of your name in the top right corner. Here you can update your name and details as well as your passwords. It is important to set up your multi-factor authentication for all users. By default, the authentication is disabled but can be activated by enabling the toggle setting. A 6-digit code will be sent to the email to enter when logging into the VMI portal. Looking at the appearance settings, the user can alternate between the theme of the portal by choosing between dark mode or light mode. The way tank data is viewed on the portal can be customized to your preference. Users can choose how they want to display the tank data. The options include table view, card view, or automatic mode. Let's first look at the card view. The card view is a bit more user-friendly to view and is recommended for customers that have 1 or 2 tanks. This view is easy to view on a mobile device if you just want to take a quick view as to what is happening on site. The card view shows the current tank capacities, product stored, current volume, ullage, and when the last reading occurred. Selecting View Details on the selected tank takes you to a detailed window with more in-depth information. If the user has 2 or more tanks, the recommended view is the table view. To switch the view, go back into the profile settings as before. The table view is easier to view detailed data rows and allows opening multiple tabs at the same time. The data can be expanded and collapsed to allow the user to view specific information at one time. There are a few important headings and columns with information regarding the tanks, and we will now look at a few of them. Starting with the state of the tank. It is an important icon-based notification, and when you hover over the icon, it will show what alert it is, such as console offline, or other icons could include low, high, dips out of sync, etc. If an icon appears in this column, it is important to view the alert. Ideal would be for no icons to be present in the state column. To take a deeper look into a tank, drop down the plus in front of the tank row. This will collapse all the necessary details of each tank, showing the minimum and maximum volume per day in a graph format. This is important for customers to track how the volume is used daily and trends are set per site. For example, if your employee runs your pump dry, it will show on the graph because it will show the volume drop down significant. Next to the graph is an estimate of how many days of fuel you have left. This feature is made up of two elements. If you have an FMS and tank gauge connected, it will utilize both units to calculate how long you have left. If no FMS is in place, the tank gauge is the only unit calculating. This is not always the most accurate but a good estimate to work with. Looking at the alerts type. Here you can set up what and when you would like to receive alerts. Could be on the low level, at a specific volume level, and the email address that should receive the alert. The alert email that will be received looks like this. The email will indicate what site it is for, the tank in question, and show the current percentage, volume, and ullage of the tank. Next up is alerts. This section is based more on iPETRO products that are connected to the VMI portal, such as the iPETRO gateway. There are 4 level alerts monitored, from critical high to critical low. These fields are all level-based, working on the current volume of the tank. Then looking at configuration. Here you can set the basic data of your tank, the tank number, name, capacity, and more. You can configure which devices are attached to your tank for monitoring. Simply select the connected unit and enter the identity number. Lastly, we look at transactions. This is a quick look at how each tank is progressing and the latest transactions on each tank. This is not the detailed view that you can see in the reporting tab, but more of an oversight to the current movements of your tank. The VMI portal can be filtered by groups to give a focused look, and detailed searches can be done on your data. You can customize your dashboard by uploading your company logo. This can be done through the Company Settings tab. You can choose to upload your logo in PNG or JPEG format. This is also where you can set up the reporting to email. 2 reports are regularly sent via email. Firstly, the VMI and tank gauge report. You can enter the email address, select a group, when you would like the report to start and end, as well as how frequently it should be sent. The email that will be sent looks like this. The breakdown will show the current state of your tanks. We highly recommend setting up the reporting email feature. Moving down a bit, the second report that is emailed is the transaction report. You can add up to 10 emails to receive this report, as well as schedule how frequently you want to receive it. The report is sent in Excel format and looks like this. Looking at the rest of the company settings, we go to the Manage tab. Here you can configure all your linked systems. Most of these features can be done for you by our support team. Next up, we look at Users. Under Users, you can assign access to the VMI portal. Only if a user is set to an admin user will they have access to the company settings. To add a new user, simply invite them via their emails and set the access level. Moving on to Groups. Here you can customize the various groups that you would like to break down your data for easy viewing. This is a great feature if you want to group your site information according to locations or facilities, etc. To create a new group, enter the name of the group and select the New Group button. You can select all the sites or tanks that you would like to be added to the group, and click on the Update Group button. Confirm your group is active by heading back to the main VMI portal and filtering by the new group name. Going back to the company settings, we look at the strapping chart. This feature is mostly used by the support team, but with our team's guidance, customers can upload their own strapping charts. That concludes the walkthrough of the VMI portal. Our software developers are local in Australia and welcome all our customers to give feedback on new features or customizations they would like to see. We pride ourselves on always improving our software to meet the needs of our customers.